Coming to you live from Andre Reed Stadium in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, we have Vulcan football. California travels to Kutztown to take on the Kutztown Golden Bears. Hello, welcome into the broadcast. If you're watching on CUTV or listening on WCAL, I'm Stephen Ruffing, and joined alongside of me is my partner, Dylan Goday. Dylan, we have a good one. California, unfortunately, coming off a loss at Ohio Dominican.
Yeah, Cal did lose that last game against Ohio Dominican, looking to come into this game hungry. They did have some promise there in that 28-23 loss. Noah Mitchell, freshman quarterback, first freshman quarterback to make a start at Cal since 2004. He had a great game with over 300 yards passing, 30 for 50 passing the ball. Did have 3 interceptions, but he looks to bounce back from those interceptions here today.
Yeah, not only did he have the 3 interceptions, but he did make up for it with the 3 touchdowns, looking pretty good for a freshman. California, you know, they start out very hot. They start out fast, they start out electric, but Dylan, they tend to kind of fizzle out as the game goes on, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah, only 48 points like you found out since in 2017 in the third quarter. So that's going to be a huge key for California today. Can they get started hot in the second half? First half, they've been able to play great, but they've lost games in that third quarter. Can they make up for that here today?
And we'll find out. Kutztown, on the other hand, they're coming off a big victory at Assumption. This is the first time they beat a nationally ranked team since 2014 when they beat the number 20 ranked IUP. This time it was the number 17 Assumption.
Yeah, they got that win late, 32-28. They were led by running back Craig Reynolds, who actually won the PSAC West Offensive Player of the Week PSAC East Offensive Player of the Week last week. So he's going to be a key for them today. And like you said, only 66 yards shy of 2,000 career rushing yards. So definitely could be a big game for him here today.
Yes, it can be. We're going to keep a sharp eye on him. Now, Dylan, the last time these two teams met was the PSAC Championship in 2016, where California, they came out with a huge victory.
Yeah, they did 49-7 in that game. We were actually doing the broadcast for that one there in 2016. So Kutztown, there were some players left from that game, including their quarterback there in Colin Delgado, the twin brother of Cal's center, Christian Delgado. So definitely has a sour taste in his mouth from that game. So look for them to get some revenge, but they have not beaten Cal since the year of 1997. So we were just infants at that time, Steve. So definitely could be a chance for Kutztown to kind of right the wrong in these past few games.
And there you have it. In Kutztown, the last time they beat California was 1997. We'll see what the outcome will be in this game. Kickoff is next here on CUTV and WCAL.
Patriotism. There's a word thrown around a lot. It inspires passionate debate and is worn like a badge of honor, and with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. For a word designed to unite, it can also be pretty divisive. You see, there's more to patriotism than flag sequin onesies and rodeos and quadruple cheeseburgers. Patriotism is love for a country, not just pride in it. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's more than just a huge rock full of animals like cougars and eagles, right? It's the people. Do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second. I want to try something out. Picture the average U.S. citizen. Think about it. How old are they? What's their hair like? How much can they bench? You got one? Okay. So chances are, the person you're picturing right now looks a little different to the real average American. There are 319 million U.S. citizens. 51% are female. So first off, the average American is a woman. Cool, huh? Is that what you pictured? 54 million are Latino, 40 million senior citizens. 27 million are disabled, 18 million are Asian. That's more people in the U.S. than play football and baseball combined. 9 million are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, more than the entire amount of people that live in the state of Virginia. Around 10 million are redhead, 5.1 million play ultimate frisbee, and 3.5 million are Muslim. Triple the number of people currently serving in the United States military. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. We know that labels don't devalue us, they help define us, keeping us dialed into our cultures and our beliefs and who we are as Americans. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? I mean, it's stitched into the stars and stripes of this country, from the Constitution to Gettysburg, to our motto, E pluribus unum, from many, one. It's even in our country's name, the United States. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? So let's try this one more time. Close your eyes. Picture the average Joe or Joan or Juan or Jean-Luc. The real people who make America, America. And this year, whenever you feel the urge to don those star-spangled shorts, set off fireworks the size of my biceps to show love for our country, remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
Are you a visual storyteller? The Cal Times and CUTV is looking for students with an interest in expanding their skills in photography and videography. We call it visual journalism, and we're here to offer you opportunities to learn how to shoot and edit from a wide range of events at California University of Pennsylvania. Our focus is on local coverage of sports and news events from campus and around the region. We provide on-site training as we help you develop your skills as a visual multimedia storyteller for the Cal Times newspaper and CUTV News Center. To learn more about visual journalism opportunities and join our team, visit our media production facility in the Natali Student Center or email the Cal Times at caltimes@calu.edu.
The Student Association Incorporated, or SAI, has been serving California University's student body since 1937. SAI is owned and operated by the students, which means every student has a voice in the corporation. Over 100 clubs and organizations are funded through student activities fees. These clubs and organizations cover a wide variety of interests from academic, arts, media communications, faith, politics, service, sports, recreation, and much more. If you don't find a club you like, you can start your own by finding 20 like-minded students. The opportunities are endless. The Student Association is directed by a board of directors made up of undergraduate and graduate students, alumni, and retired faculty. In addition to clubs and activities, the Student Association owns 2 areas for recreation that total close to 200 acres, Roadman Park and the SAI Farm. Roadman Park hosts club sports such as men's and women's rugby and the club baseball team. A variety of intramural sports are hosted at Roadman Park as well. The Vulcan tennis team plays its home matches at its facility, and a baseball field serves as home to the club baseball team and a practice field for the varsity team. The SAI Farm offers many different recreation and meeting opportunities. The renovated farmhouse, which dates back to the 1790s, has space for meetings and banquets. A picnic pavilion seats up to 128 people and is equipped with restrooms, playground, horseshoe pits, and volleyball court. Throughout the property is the disc golf course, which was the first course built in Washington County. There is a fitness course around a portion of the cross-country track and nature and hiking trails across the property. If that's not enough, the Student Association owns Vulcan Village housing near Roadman Park, approximately 1 mile from campus. These fully furnished apartments offer private bedrooms with the option of private bathrooms too. These options include 2-bed, 2-bath, 4-bed, 4-bath, and 4-bed, 2-bath. Housing at Vulcan Village includes all utilities, cable and internet, along with an outdoor saltwater pool, basketball court, and sand volleyball court. Room service dining is also available to the residents. Vulcan Village houses 770 people spread out among 199 apartments, so finding something to do or someone to spend time with is a breeze. The Student Association Incorporated aims to make student life better for all students. Get involved in the various clubs and activities, and make sure to utilize your activities transcript. The activities transcript is a resource to keep track of what you're involved in. This is great to have when applying for jobs and internships to show how involved you are. And this is another awesome tool provided by SAI. Remember, SAI is your student association.
Hello everyone and welcome back into Kutztown, Pennsylvania, where the Kutztown Golden Bears host your California Vulcans. Welcome back into the broadcast. If you're listening on WCOL or CUTV, we are doing a simulcast. I'm Steve Muffin, and joining alongside me is my partner, Dylan Gilday. Dylan, we have a good one. These two teams haven't faced off since 2016, where California, like we said in the open, came out with a huge victory.
That they did, and that was in the PSAC championship game there in 2016. California was able to get the 49-7 win. We were at that game, we were broadcasting it, and California just dominated that whole game from start to finish.
Dylan, now we're going to look at the tail of the tape. As you can see on your screen, both sides pretty even on the stat side of things. And Dylan, looking into this game, who do you look out for on California? Of course, there's the freshman, Noah Mitchell, who is lights out at Ohio.
That he was, and he's going to have a great game here today as well. Noah Mitchell is that quarterback. Again, got the first freshman quarterback start there since 2004 in week 1. But also look for the running back there for California as well. He's a transfer. Is Nelson Brown, transferred from Lenore-Rhine, and he looks to be a huge factor. We saw him in spurts last week, but he should have I'm expecting a great game out of him here today.
Right, and of course you have the dynamic duo of the powerhouse with Jalen Bell as well.
Exactly, and we didn't see much of Jalen Bell last week. See if he can bigger factor in this game, but I expect Nelson Brown to get the majority of those carries, but he can also spell him some with getting it through the air, especially there to Jalen Bell. Kind of plays exactly like his cousin there, Le'Veon Bell, and in the same kind of fashion.
Right, exactly. Of course, we're talking interceptions. A lot of them were bounces.
And you mentioned two of those were bad bounces. He had 2 deflected off of his own players that were intercepted last week. He did have the 1 interception that was more of his bad. But again, He looks to be a big factor in this game. You can see him there on your screen. Noah Mitchell, again, didn't play like a freshman. You mentioned that. He had great poise. He led a couple big drives. Led a drive at the end of the game. Couldn't get it in the end zone, but he was right there going to score against the top 25 team in the final minute. That's impressive for a senior quarterback, but he was able to do it as a true freshman.
Yeah, exactly. He's really come into this game after senior Michael Keir last year graduated, and Michael Keir is actually making an appearance here in Kutztown.
And I was talking to the offensive coordinator, Coach Salisbury, and he actually mentioned that Michael Keir was going to be in attendance here today. But if you watched the Gary Dunn show earlier in the week, Coach Dunn talked about how Noah Mitchell showed poise, but he played for Cal in the spring last year. He enrolled early, came from a prep school, so he was prepared more so than other freshmen, getting some experience, kind of like Division I players come in the spring. Noah Mitchell was able to do the same, and was able to get that experience through spring ball, playing in the spring game, and eventually earning the starting role as a true freshman.
Yeah, he's going to be exciting to watch throughout the years. And, a guy on Kutztown we talked about a little bit, Craig Reynolds, the running back, the PSAC Player of the Week. 66 yards shy of 2,000 career yards, Dylan, and there's a pretty big chance that we could see him achieve that goal in this game.
Yeah, exactly, and he going to be a big factor in this game is Reynolds. So we're going to keep an eye on that 66 yards and see if he can produce that here today. California has been known to lose some of their running game, give up a lot of yards on the ground. So look for Reynolds to try to take advantage of that, and it's probably going to be a focal point of this offense. But they do have Colin Delgado, we mentioned there in the open, twin brother of our center, Christian Delgado. His family's in attendance. They had a big tailgate with wearing all Delgado gear. So definitely cool to have that kind of family. It's very cool considering a quarterback and a center having that kind of relationship.
Yeah, it's a odd connection between the two as we are getting ready for kickoff. California going left to right for everybody listening on WCAL. Brian also Brooks, the man kicking. California in the white jerseys with the black bottoms and, of course, the black helmets. Kutztown in their maroon jerseys, gold pants, and their gold helmets. A slight overcast today. A little chilly.
Surprised to see a passing shower or two during this game. We were worried coming into this one that could be a downpour. The western side of the state, if you're watching in western Pennsylvania, a lot of rain happening right now, a lot of flood warnings and watches. So it should be heading its way out east. It's going to make for a long ride home.
And kickoff is now Brian. Also Brooks kicks it off. The man to get it is Craig Reynolds. He's at the 20, tackled at the 20. Now Kutztown, the Golden Bears, they'll have a chance to prove themselves on offense. And, of course, Dylan, we can't keep talking about him. Craig Reynolds gets his first opportunity to show us what he got.
That he will. Let's go through the starters here for Kutztown. The Kutztown Golden Bears. Starting at quarterback is Colin Delgado. Mentioned his name, as well as the starting running back is Craig Reynolds, the redshirt senior, standing at 5'11", 215. The wide receivers for the Golden Bears, Ryan Hubley, number 87, and number 23, Josh Lee. Both of those players are seniors. And the third receiver rounding out the trio of receivers is Connor Sullivan. We'll see a lot of action out of him here tonight. Starting tight end, as the play is started up here.
Reynolds makes his way to the 40, a 20-yard gain before he gets out of bounds. It was a little check down pass from the Galbo.
That it was, and we mentioned him on the ground, and right there we were able to see Reynolds through the air catching that ball, making defenders miss and work his way right upfield.
Reynolds gets the ball, handed off by DeGalbo. Just about a 4-yard gain, brought down at around the 44-yard line.
We're seeing there on the ground. If he's able to get 4 to 5 yards a pop, Kutztown's got to be happy with that. We're seeing the up-tempo early. We weren't even able to finish the starters there for Kutztown. We'll get back to those players, but they're looking to have an up-tempo pace, kind of like what we see from Cal in certain points.
DeGalbo in the shotgun formation. Reynolds to his right, 2 receivers to his right as well. A man in motion. Handed off right back to Reynolds. Reynolds gets the first down, past the 50, brought down at the 45. Another great gain, about 10-plus yards on that one.
That it was, and a great tackle there by Dylan Boitos, a sophomore from West Mifflin, able to come make that tackle. That could have been a huge run there for Reynolds.
Same formation. Wide receiver Ryan Hubley, the man in motion. He receives the ball. Past the 45, 2 men miss from California, brought down at around the 37-yard line.
We're seeing for California that wrapping up and finishing tackles has been a huge problem for them here on this first drive. Kutztown appears to be able to break tackles, and there the tight end was able to break a couple tackles, but now we have an injured player here for California. We're seeing some substitutions coming in as well, and you don't like to see that there for the Vulcans.
No, you don't. California struggled with injuries, at Ohio Dominican as well as last season, Dylan. It's one of the things that, no pun intended, hurt California the most.
Exactly right, and I could not catch a number of the player that is down there for the Vulcans, but I saw a number of players rush in to substitute. But you hope the best for him, and it's kind of disruptive.